That way you bookend that. You
Yeah,
complete them. You complete them. Well, and that way they don't have to move for the next meetings.
Right, I know, the name tags.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not whispering. Seriously whispering.
In between meetings.
My wife says I'm very loud. She says, honey, you don't have to yell. I'm like, I'm not yelling. I'm just talking.
I ordered the stuff, and I have one or two at home already, but.
Actually, my daughter at school, they have ugly sweater day too. We do it every year, Casey.
My husband needed me another one. For golf on
Not exactly
Saturday,
what I meant.
Sunday, or I don't know, one of them days, Saturday, I think.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've ever done it, so I'm already ready.
There you go. You
Although
got a
it's
head
not-
start.
It's not ugly, but it is my favorite Christmas movie. Yeah, we have a lady in our office that's probably been, Puerto Rican, probably been here. She speaks good English. But cars, like him and I, we get along very well. Just more pictures than anything else. But anyway, I had pictures of this movie up on my window as part of my Christmas decorations, and she's like, "What is that? Well, how long you been here? And you don't know about this?" And it's not like Puerto Rico's a third world country or anything like that. Like, she goes, "We had TV. Like, you don't know this movie from like 1983?"
I didn't come to that movie until later on too. Like, I grew up with all the other ones, but I didn't see that one until I was like in my mid-20s probably. Now it's a really stable movie.
We're missing a lot of commissioners right now. Are they all in the back room?
Yeah. They're all here.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob. Where's he? It's not ugly. That's actually a nice sweater.
Yeah.
You're wearing the nicest sweater. Or you're trying to lose the contest.
That's right, yeah, I'm trying to lose.
You don't want to win. All right, well, you're doing a good job.
Who won last year? Who's the one to beat?
Probably me. I'm teasing.
I think
don't know.
June won last year.
We should. It should be some obnoxious trophy. Yeah, that means nothing.
June?
It was June.
That angel that the Grinch makes
Aw.
and then tears apart. That should be that. That should be the trophy.
So hot.
That's what we were just talking about, how it's like, bad thing about Christmas sweaters is they're very warm.
Up in the air,
Especially in
and
Florida.
the butt was like
He
a
turned it
bottom.
down to 69, so it should be, it's cooling down, believe it or not. It was even hotter when we first got here.
Oh, yeah.
Long night, long hot night.
I have a fan at my desk, so I had my fan on. And that's why I got one that opens, so I could take this off if I needed to.
After 6 o'clock.
Huh?
After 6 o'clock.
It's so thick.
Wow. Wow. Some tinsel. I like that. Oh, wait, a blazer.
Wait till you see Steingold's.
Cowan?
I talked to her.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen her around for a while.
Yeah, yeah. She's very recognizable with her hair. Yeah. She's very good.
I think Carlos won last year with that sweater.
No, I didn't win last year.
You didn't win last year?
2 years ago.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
So, do you remember who won last year?
I think he won.
Oh no, June did win last year because she had on like a dinosaur or I forget what it was. Was it a sloth? Yeah, she did win last year. Yeah, she did. The kitty cat was a close second.
yourself?
Pretty good.
It's nice.
Oh, that's a tutu. Thank you.
Appreciate the compliment.
It's a lot.
I got it cranked down to 69. It's still gonna get hot in here for us. Good thing Christmas is in July.
All right, we all ready?
If you are, Mayor.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and call the Safety Harbor Audit Committee meeting to order. It is December 18th. Matt, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Your first order of business as the Audit Committee is a motion to approve the minutes of April 18th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Our external auditor, Brian Quinlan, CPA, signing director of Clifton Larson Allen, is here to present the Safety Harbor Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022. And you're going to have a presentation here, and then if you want the same presentation, we can do the same presentation when you meet as the CRA. So consider that now. That way you can ask as many questions as you want as the Audit Committee, and it might make the CRA meeting quicker.
Nice sweater. Appreciate you showing the spirit.
Good evening, Audit Committee. I wish I could have had a sweater, had a little bit more time, but when your city manager told me about it, I said, I've got to fit in one way or the other. Plus, as I was just telling your finance director, Vicki, I said, for the first time ever in our offices, we've dubbed Friday before Thanksgiving to be Ugly Sweater, and there's a contest, so we will see what happens. My chances are pretty good in my office. I'm one of 5 or 6. Now, our Lakeland office is more like 60 people, so. But I'll take my odds and see. So for you this evening, again, Brian Quinlan, signing director with Clifton Larson Allen, worked within the state of Florida, specifically out of the Sebring and Central Florida offices. Just a disclosure slide. So regarding the city's audit, as you've been made aware of effectively the delays, none of us can ignore that. But we are here this evening to present and finally wrap up your September 30, 2022 audit. One of the first things you will have within your packet that you can take a look at, or maybe you have already, is in addition to the financial statements, you will have what's a small 4 or 5 page stapled packet. That's the governance communication packet. I've talked about it before with you. It goes over a couple different things. One of them is we're not aware of any consultations that management may have with other auditors regarding, say, complex accounting issues, effectively opinion shopping. That typically doesn't happen in governments, and didn't happen here. No difficulties encountered while performing the audit. Yes, there was the delays as you're all worried about, but once we got into the actual audit process, no difficulties there, and working with management or anybody else during the audit. That letter does go over at least one corrected misstatement regarding investment valuations, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. Again, no disagreements with management, and management does sign a representation letter. That's just representations regarding you've been given everything. You've been given access to all board minutes. You've been given access to agreements. Any other audits by state, local government, county, other agencies that might be pertaining to the audit. You know, basically everything is as it seems. And then it goes over just some information about accounting practices, including the city's implementation of GASB number 87 on leases, which I'll go over a little bit later. During the audit process, we do issue several reports. The first one of those is the independent auditor's report. That is an unmodified opinion for the city. And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that we also issue the same report for the CRA, and then also for your EMS schedule. That's the report that goes to the county for the EMS services that are provided. We also issue, the second item down on the left, an independent auditor report on internal control and on compliance compliance and other matters. It's effectively what we call our yellow book or government auditing standards report. There's a report for the city that does have a couple of findings that I'll go over in just a moment, and then also for the CRA, which did not have any findings. We also issue an examination on compliance with the city's investment of public funds. That's Chapter 218, 415 Florida statutes, and regarding the CRA's compliance. And then we also issued, which would be unique to this year, 2022, a coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds examination report. The city had an option to do what would be called a single audit under the U.S. Office of Management and Budget Guidelines, or an examination report under the guidelines. Chose the examination report. Still gives you the same assurance. There was no findings with the coronavirus relief funds. But as I did mention, there are a couple of other findings particular to the city. You will find more information about these in the financial statement packet. In the back, in the schedule of findings and responses. The first one is number 2022-001 on bank reconciliations. The city was basically what we would call a control deficiency that rose to a level of material weakness regarding the delays in getting the bank statements, the operating bank account reconciled during the year, and effectively it was done to a degree, but not completely done until after your fiscal year end for the various months. So we've talked to management about that. There is a plan in place to reduce that deficiency and eliminate it going forward. We also report to you 2022-002 on financial statement adjustments investments. The review process regarding investments and reconciling those on a monthly basis, and more specifically at your fiscal year end, September 30, 2022, did not catch that there was an investment left out. It resulted actually in a positive to the city, meaning if not caught, the assets and the revenues would have been understated by about $700,000. So it's not like anything was done wrong except for the spreadsheet left out an investment. So we've talked with management about how to go about that, the things to look for going forward, develop a plan so that does not happen in the future. We also have a control deficiency that we want to report. It's called 2022, I have a typo there, -003 on capital assets. The city was not able to perform a physical inventory of the capitalized item, which would basically be property, plant, and equipment over $5,000. The issue necessarily wouldn't be in immovable type things like buildings and big trucks and things like that, but the smaller items that could easily get up, theft is a possibility in any type of entity. So we recommended the city to make sure you're conducting a physical inventory at least annually. It can also be done perpetually. Take a section of assets throughout time period to basically make it easier on employees, or go by department throughout the year. It's definitely one of the controls that you want to have in place and have in place working at least annually. So again, for all of these, we've talked to management, city manager, and your finance director about it. No disagreements with the findings, and we will also work with them if they have clarifying questions, anything that they want to run by us over the next couple months to help ensure that they're resolved, and resolved very well. Any questions on those?
Can I jump in?
Sure.
So the cash receipts, or the cash flow, and the fiscal year 23 capital project, they both have been done for fiscal year 23. So we're caught up. We do have a plan in place, and they are done for the fiscal year that just ended September 30th. So, and then of course the third one was the investment, which was an investment left off the spreadsheet, and it was roughly $700,000, and it's on there now. So
we like to be, as much as we don't like to report findings, we also want to make sure that we're part of the solution in any way that we can going forward. So we definitely entertain any future conversations on that. As I mentioned, the city did implement governmental accounting standards board statement number 87 on leases. That is effectively taking leases which meet a certain criteria, being long-term versus short-term, and where in the past you would basically expense them it basically is putting a liability on the citywide financial statements and in the enterprise funds as applicable. It didn't really have a significant impact of the city, but no city, no county, no special district, no government at all knows that impact until they go through the assessment. So the city did go through that. And I bring that up because for the fiscal year end 2023 that's just passed, there's another Governmental Accounting Standards Board statement. This one's 96 on subscription-based information technology arrangements, or SBITA for short. That is putting subscription-based information technology agreements that meet a criteria. I won't bore you with all the criteria, but effectively, if they're determined to be long-term, basically a commitment of the city, like construction commitment that they go after several years, or other types of payment plans. So these would be things, could be from operating software to the software that you use to record the meetings and publish those on the website, the financial accounting system, your enterprise risk management systems, any type of software subscription, even the websites, depending on how those agreements are structured. So effectively, if you think about subscription-based information technology, because most governments have moved away from purchasing software outright, it's more monthly fees over monthly fees over monthly fees. So basically what the GASB has done or is doing is basically letting the users of the financial statements, including yourselves, know that if there's a commitment that goes out over several years, what is that dollar amount? Just like any type of other debt. Capital lease, that actually doesn't exist anymore in that term, but they call it something else. Notes payable, bonds payable, it's basically putting a long-term liability on your books. And until the city evaluates that, nobody really knows that that's $5 or $500,000. I would tend to think for this city, it's probably on the smaller side rather than that larger side, but nobody knows until we evaluate it, until they evaluate it, and then we audit. So that is something we've talked to the city management about that. They've got a plan in place to evaluate that before everything is closed out for September 30, 2023, and before the city, of course, is ready for audit. And I just will very briefly mention there are some new statements on auditing standards coming out that would impact the audits, impacts all auditors, public audits, private audits, any type of audit, government, nonprofit, for-profit, for the 2024 fiscal year end. So that is something that we will talk to you about when those agreements come up for 2024, because it does add some time, including time regarding the amount of audit work that goes into information technology general controls, which is becoming, it's an issue that's not going away. So it just puts kind of some more onus on the auditors to look into information technology general controls, things regarding cybersecurity and other, and then report back on them to you. So with that, I can take any additional questions.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the presentation and all the hard work you and your team did to complete the audit. We all know there were, challenges this year, and you put in a lot of hard work and time to get through it all. So thank you for that.
Thank you all. Thank city management, and then of course everybody in finance, and then the other departments as we ask various questions. When we talked with your city manager, I think it was the end of September, and we basically said usually this audit starts second, third week of January, and it's issued right at the end of March. I said there's basically over a 2-month time period. We all collectively kind of performed a little miracle here. And it's not possible. We can't do it without your work and vice versa. So we welcome, and we had weekly status meetings with the city manager and finance director and anybody else that needed to attend. And I think that was a big part of it. It's not all the time that I don't want to say that we have clients that don't cooperate, but don't understand the urgency of getting something done, especially when some state agencies may be breathing down your neck. So it's very much appreciated.
While I'm at it, I'll just thank Vicki and her team, and because I know you guys also put in a lot of hard work and long hours, and I think you were working weekends and
Nights and weekends.
Nights and weekends.
She was here a lot.
This is your first year as the finance director, so I know there's a learning curve there also. So thank you very much. Hopefully things go a little. I'm sure I know you've gathered a lot of information over this audit, and you'll be able to apply that to future audits. But thank you very much for all your hard work, too.
We have a great team, so it really did come together really well. And the next one will be easier, because we've all gone through it with the same team, so it'll be nice.
We can open it up to any questions or comments. All right. Well, that's all that we have on the agenda. Let me just clarify, the last vote passed 7-0. I said 5-0, so. But all right, so now we're looking for a motion to accept the City of Safety Harbor Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2022, and the CRA financial statements and supplemental reports for fiscal year ending September 30, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 7-0. All right, thank you to the Audit Committee.
Like to thank Ms. Wadsworth. She's been on here for several years now, and we're glad you're on this committee with us.
Stop counting.
No, I will stop counting. And Ms. Judkins is her first meeting with you all, so thank you for joining the team, and thank you for your work on the FAC. We certainly appreciate that. So I just want to acknowledge both of them while we had the opportunity, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Now we're gonna roll right into,
Give Tony about 120 seconds.
okay.
They'll let us know when. We'll see someone over.